it going, my friends? So, this comes on the heels of a conversation that I had with Frank yesterday, and it really struck a chord with me as to what I've been kind of looking at for the past 2 years, you know? Today I found out that yet another person, another teacher, I guess you can call him that, from whom I learned Torah. In this case, it was way in the beginning of my journey, I would say 10 years ago, who basically has shown himself to be, a purveyor of not just Lashon Hara, but a purveyor of just really a lack of emunah, a lack of connection to Hashem, like real connection to Hashem, a lack of self-awareness, really just deficiency. And listen, some of you guys may be saying, come on, man, like, everybody's human, rabbis are rabbis, Jews are Jews. Just because somebody's like this and that and the other doesn't mean that they're perfect. Guys, I get all that. I totally get it. But my whole thing, and it speaks to what Frank and I were talking about yesterday, is that, again, you have this worldwide, global situation, right? And an Orthodox Jew came along, Orthodox Jewish doctor came along, and for better or worse, he kind of figured it out, He was in this community of people who basically ended up being living witnesses to the method that he was employing, to the method that he was using, which basically, he was on the phone with President Trump, he was on the phone with Bibi, with Giuliani, a bunch of other people all over the world, leaders all over the world, Central America, South America, even Europe, and he was treating them. And what he was doing worked. And the media found out, and they started bashing him, and they dismissed it, and the whole, and Schmancet, Lancet published a fake, what is it called? Fake study about it, which they then retracted. But the damage was done already, right? My friends, you would think, and he's a Russian-speaking person from the former Soviet Union, smart, learned in Torah, smart in terms of medicine, very smart, going himself through, a horrible affliction, the C word, treatments, whatever it is. You would think that people, and listen, I'll give a lot of people credit. A lot of people in the firm world did reach out. A lot of pharmacies did work with him and continue to work with him. But guys, you would think that the overwhelming majority of the Orthodox world would embrace what he's doing. Guys, but there have been so many say it ain't so moments for me. So many of these so-called leaders and so-called rabbis and so-called people with Emunah and Hashem and Torah and Midos, who have basically taken this guy who's doing this for nothing more than to help just the world. Not only the Jewish people, not only Israel, but the world. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to end this thing. He's trying to end what's going on here. Because clearly the stuff that these big companies have come out with hasn't ended it. It's only caused more chaos. It's only caused more politicization and horrific just things before our eyes in the media, in social media, and I don't have to tell you guys. And he's trying. He could have ended it. Rather, he has ended it. His thing could have officially, had it been used, it would have ended the thing in a few months. But it's very cheap, right? They didn't have incentive to use it. So, my friends, and now you have these so-called rabbis. When you call them out about what they're saying and what they're doing, when you tell them that, the facts, you give them the facts, kind of behind the scenes, as it were, you know what they do? They double down. They double down. They speak Lashon Hara. They call this person a kook. They call this person a charlatan. He's in it for the money. He's in it to sell his vitamins, whatever it is, guys. And you tell them, listen, he even tells people to go and get these separate, the ingredients that are in his vitamin, to get them separately. He says, don't buy my stuff. He doesn't encourage, he doesn't like push. He's saying, here's a treatment. Guys, I mean, it's just so very, very sad. It's just so very sad, and it only goes to show, my friends, that we basically don't have leaders anymore. There have been so many people that I personally learned from, and then I learned about them during this whole time. Some people I was actually pleasantly surprised to learn certain things about them. Pleasantly surprised. And other people I was actually quite shocked. Some people I wasn't really shocked, meaning like I was a little bit taken aback, but in the end, upon kind of reviewing certain aspects about them that I knew from before this pandemic, I was like, okay, you know what, that makes sense. It makes sense that this person would behave this way. But guys, I mean, it's just very, in Russian we say abidno, It's sad. It's very, it's just a shanda. It's very sad. It's very sad to know that these people turned out to be what they turned out to be. Maybe, and you could say, and I'm trying to, I thought about this today. I'm trying to give these people down the kafskut, the benefit of the doubt. I can say some of them are just misguided. Some of them didn't get the information. Some of them, whatever it is. But guys, I mean, like when you show them information, when you show them the truth about what this person is doing, how he's, again, there's living witnesses, thousands of people, 8,000, 9,000 people, even more around the world who were treated indirectly, not even by him, but as a result of his method, his whatever it is that he suggests. Millions of people probably. And you know what they do? They double down. They double down. They go further. These so-called people, so-called rabbis who talk about midot and meditation and prayer and learning and act, working on yourself, behaving a certain way. My friends, it really, I don't know. It'd be one thing if it was something like a small screw up on their end. Every rabbi, every religious person screws up. But guys, this is something where you show people, these people are claiming to be the banner carriers of emes, of emet. Like tonight we're going to make a presentation, my friend and I, and the whole thing of, one of the things is Hashem Eloheichem Emet, as one of the main parts of the Shema. The truth. Hashem is the truth. And you show these people the truth, and it doesn't seem like they're guided by the truth. They're guided by, I don't know, the media psychosis. They're guided by hypochondria. They're guided by pomposity. Thinking that they're better than thou, holier than thou. Snubbing their nose, arrogance, pseudo-intellectualism. That's what they're guided by, guys. One of them told me everybody's too entrenched in their side. Both sides are too entrenched in their narrative, in their story. And I said, my friend, this is not about sides for me. The people who want sides are the people that are dividing and conquering. The people who did this to us want sides. They're hoping and praying that we stay on opposite sides, divided. I'm just trying to get to the truth. It's not about sides for me. Your side, my side. I don't care about these sides. The only sides I care about are rice or French fries. That's the sides I like. Okay? It's just astounding, guys. It's just astounding how these people who their career, the career that they chose, the vocation in life that they chose, is predicated on spreading truth to the people, and they could not be further from it. And the saddest part is they took a fellow Torah Jew who's dedicated to people. Really, he is more than to himself. As much as sometimes you listen to him and it sounds like he's a little bit self-aggrandizing, whatever it is, he admits it. He's self-aware of that. But when push comes to shove, as we say in Hebrew, kodem kol, before anything, he's dedicated to people and helping people. And for sure, we know that for sure. And these people go and take this guy and throw him onto the bus and split Lashon Hara about him. They call him a weirdo, a quack, this, that. Oh, is that the guy that asked for X, Y, and Z amount of money? My friends, the treatment is not covered by insurance. What do you want the guy to starve on the streets or what? Guys, at some point, most people didn't even pay. He didn't even ask for money. He understood some people could pay, some people can't pay. It is what it is. But it's just the saddest thing, guys. And there's been so many of these say it ain't so moments for me. But I guess it's good, guys, because again, as I always say, this pandemic began on Purim 2 years ago. You know, the masks came on. First the masks came on, then they came off. You know, the Purim masks. And then we put on actual masks. But then the masks, the figurative masks, came off. It's all about masks, guys. This began on Purim, and Bezrat Hashem, guys, Bezrat Hashem. You know, this Purim, we have 2 Adars, and so this Purim, Bezrat Hashem, we will be celebrating the end of this horrific experiment. And the masks we wear in Purim, I hope, are the only masks we're going to be wearing, guys. But I'll tell you something. You really learn who was who. And, you know, for me, it's been very disappointing. And Baruch Hashem, at least there are people in our nation, in the Torah community that do support this doctor. More than we know. And Bezrat Hashem, we're going to go forward. And, you know, Hashem knows the truth. Hashem knows the truth. And that's the most important thing. Alright, guys. Time to toivel some vessels. And I'll talk to you soon.